It's the Riot Podcast, the Wednesday, September 6th edition. I have some exciting science news for you here. Coming from Huazhong University of Science and Technology in Wuhan. How does that sound familiar?
Wuhan.
Yeah, I think it's in China.
China.
Yeah.
With it?
Yeah. They have been doing some research on toilet bowls, and they think they have made an exciting development in toilet bowl technology.
Are they making the unmissable bowl? Because I keep on recently I've been having an issue with that. I keep on missing.
Well, why would that be a problem for you?
I don't know what the issue is. I just keep on missing. Like when you're like standing up to go pee.
Yeah.
As a guy.
It sounds like you need to try sitting down.
I'm not really built for that. I want to stand. I feel like I'm able to stand.
The rest of the RadioU staff would probably appreciate if you just sat
They probably would.
It's not an unmissable bowl, if you are wondering.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, somebody should work on that. What the researchers in Wuhan, China, were working on was an ultra slippery toilet bowl material.
Ultra slippery. Interesting.
Yeah, because you think about it, right? And if you look at many toilet bowls, you give it a few days of use and stuff starts to build up. There's residue, you could say.
We get it.
Left behind.
It's dirty.
It's dirty because stuff sticks to it because it's not slippery enough. And so these researchers at Huazhong University of Science and Technology in Wuhan developed a new type of material that can be used for the toilet bowl to make sure that just nothing sticks to it whatsoever. And when I mean nothing, I mean nothing. They tested it with all kinds of things that you might flush.
Syrup. Honey.
They did not test syrup that I know of, but they did test honey. Also starch-filled gel. Yogurt. Some people say yogurt. Milk. Muddy water. And artificial feces. I'm always flushing artificial feces. I'm glad to know they don't stick to the bowl.
So a stickless bowl, essentially.
Yeah, a slippery bowl.
So my question for you is, because this is obviously trying to keep the toilets clean, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Trying to keep the toilets probably from clogging as well.
That could help.
Have you ever clogged a toilet in a place that's terrible?
No.
I'm talking about at your grandmother's house, at your friend's house, on a sleepover maybe.
I've never clogged a toilet.
In your life?
I've never clogged a toilet out and about. Anywhere. Okay. I don't think I've clogged one. I have one time that I clogged a toilet, but it wasn't because of anything to do with my body. It was because I dropped the toilet paper into the toilet.
That's almost worse.
Yeah, I guess it's kind of. And
you dropped the whole roll in there?
Yeah, but it wasn't like a whole roll, so it was small enough. I was like, this would probably fit to just flush. What, am I going to reach in there and get it out? Of course not.
Where were you at?
My house.
Oh, at your own house? Okay.
Yeah.
At least you weren't at your friend's house just tossing toilet paper down the
Yeah, no, it was at my own place. It knocked off. It knocked off and fell into the toilet. But it was like close enough to the end of the roll. I thought that I'm not going to reach my hand into the dirty toilet and grab the toilet paper out. So I'll just see if it flushes. And it didn't flush. And so then I still had to reach my hand into the dirty toilet. Ew. And I also had to clean up a clogged toilet. So
that's so gross.
Yeah. Isn't that bad?
That's pretty bad. I've never reached my hand into a dirty toilet.
What am I going to do? I can't just leave the toilet paper in there, apparently.
I mean, your situation...
I tried it.
Your situation was, obviously you had to reach your hand in, but I've never had to personally do that because that sounds terrible.
Yeah, it was not great.
I also have never really had a bad toilet clogging situation.
I think some people that's a problem for them, and some people it's not. And I'm one of the people where...
It's not for me either.
Yeah, thank the good Lord up above. That's not a problem that I have to deal with.
But yeah, so an ultra slippery... So if you had to make an update, obviously this is a slippery toilet bowl.
Uh-huh.
You could make an upgrade to a toilet bowl?
A toilet upgrade.
What would you do? I think I might do maybe no splashback.
Yeah, like kind of like a screen or a guard
Something
type thing.
Yeah, so that when I go yet again when I'm going pee standing up.
Yeah.
If you've ever peed standing up with no socks or shoes on at your own house, you know that there is urine or water that is leaving the toilet as your pee is landing. And so for me, I think I would go no. Maybe
that might be helpful, but I'll tell you what would be gross is also cleaning that up. And so I'd feel bad for the people who had to do that.
True.
Whether it was at my house and I had to do it or out and about in public. An upgrade to toilet technology. I know a lot of people, there's a lot of proponents of the bidet. I wish there was some kind of upgrade to toilet paper that wasn't a bidet.
Like a dude wipe.
No, and I don't see what I don't want is me having to sully my hand going back there, even getting in the area.
Oh, so you want someone to wipe for you?
I don't know. Yeah, but then the bidet, like everything's getting wet, and so I don't know if I like that either, that idea. Although I can safely say I've never actually experienced a bidet, so maybe that's just the answer that I'm looking for.
I have a friend that has one.
Yeah. Can I come over sometime?
I'll ask her.
Yeah.
It's a woman, so.
Of course it is.
So, yeah, I'll ask her if you can come over and use her bidet. Seems like an odd question.
I don't know. Maybe, ask me after I've used the bathroom a few more times and had time to think about, in the moment, is there something that I realize could be changed here? That I feel like I might have a better answer for
Some people may even say maybe a comfier seat or a seat that doesn't get cold.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
That in the wintertime, that's a big one. That is a big one.
Or maybe a seat that never gets warm because there's nothing like sitting down on a toilet that feels warm because
Yeah.
somebody else was just sitting there.
That's true. What if it's just comfortable to sit on the toilet?
Just a comfier seat. Maybe the backrest was a little bit better.
You could feel okay just kind of relaxing.
Like a supported back.
A recumbent toilet is what I want.
All right, enough of this.
We have a good podcast for you. It gets better from here, trust me. And we'll catch you next time.
See you guys.
Add a little riot to your Instagram feed. Follow @RadioU Official. The Riot. Radio U.
Following this, Isaiah, last week, the Indians were the first country in a long time to land something new on the moon.
I did see that.
Yeah, pretty
impressive.
Yeah, I think they landed near the South Pole of the moon, if I remember correctly. So pretty interesting that they were able to get there. But that's not enough for the country of India. They've already turned their sights to a different spot in space. They've already launched a mission to try to research the sun next.
The sun?
Yeah, they're knocking out the big ones. The moon, the sun.
Jeez, they're like an evil villain taking over.
You think so?
Now they want the sun?
Yeah,
at least they're doing something cool.
Now, how is this different from what the United States has been doing?
We haven't been doing a darn thing.
You've been so critical of it.
We haven't landed.
We've sent stuff to we've been going to different planets, sending stuff to Mars, sending stuff to Venus probably at some point.
But have we been landing?
We're working on landing on Mars with people. That's our goal.
I know we're working on it.
Isn't that cooler than sending something to the sun?
It would be cooler if we could do it.
Well, it takes time. These things take time. They take time. They take a lot of money. A lot of money.
Well, India's just throwing it around, I guess.
I guess so.
They're just big dogging us.
Yeah.
Man, they must be investing well over there in India.
They just launched the Aditya L1, which could help understand once they conduct this research with this rocket that they've launched. It could help us understand how solar phenomena affect satellites in space. Still sound cool to you?
Sounds all right. I mean, doing the whole research in the sun thing, that's okay. It would be my first pick of places to go research.
What would your first pick be?
I don't know. Jupiter sounds pretty sick.
Jupiter would be cool. But
then which one has the rings? Is that Saturn?
Saturn was always my favorite.
Jupiter and Saturn, because Jupiter's the biggest one, huh?
Yep. Jupiter first, then Saturn.
Yeah, those two there, the big boys, the big Johns. I think would be a little bit cooler.
They would be cool, but what are we going to do there? It's not like solid ground, I don't think. It's just gaseous mass.
But we wouldn't know because we haven't landed there.
You can't land. There's something to land on.
Clearly we can't because we've never done it.
Yeah, it's not possible. You can't land on vapor.
There's no way that it's a big vapor.
It is.
No, it is not.
Now, maybe if you were talking about you want to go to like one of the moons, because Saturn and Jupiter, they got, they got
like 50 of them.
You know what they say about big planets, big moons.
Yeah, that's what they say.
They got a lot of them. And those, surely, I'm sure we could find something worth landing on there. And that'd be cool, right?
There's no way that we can land there. Like, I know you say it's gaseous or whatever.
Yeah, I don't think you can touch down on Jupiter.
But you're just saying that it's just a big cloud. It's essentially what you're saying. It's impossible.
It's a big circular cloud.
It is not a cloud.
It's a cloud of methane and butane and propane. And
that's a wild thought.
That's what it is. It's
I know. It's just crazy that's what you think.
It's hard to picture or even fathom, which is why it would be cool to study it more, I guess.
Can we land on it? That's all I want to know.
Disinformation, mispronunciations, bad impressions. That's Hudson. This is The Riot on Radio U.
Think of this. Bumble is now going to start, you're going to be able to report people if they ghost you on a real life date on Bumble.
If they no-show you?
Yeah. So if you've been chatting with somebody on Bumble, you set up, hey, let's meet whenever, let's have a date, and then you show up and they don't, that is something you can report them for. And at that point, then apparently Bumble will investigate. They'll conduct an investigation. And
what does that even mean?
I don't know. How can they prove that?
Let me just investigate. What are they going to do? Show up at your house and knock on your door?
See,
hey, did you show up at your date?
See, I was thinking they already have access to all the messages you're sending between the two of you within Bumble. They probably have your location service. So then it's like, if you said, hey, let's meet at Tchotchke's, and the person's location services don't say they went to Tchotchke's, then I guess that's the investigation, right?
They've got you.
Yeah, dead to rights. I don't know exactly how that works. Maybe maybe I'm assuming too much.
I think so.
But but otherwise, why even say that they would do their own investigation to it? So they would investigate, and then if you actually are found to have not shown up, I guess that's a report that will ding you negatively on Bumble. I don't know if you can get banned for that, because that would be pretty wild.
I assume they'll probably just give you, less matches?
Maybe.
They'll probably just show you less?
Yeah.
I think that's how it worked. You get shadow banned, I think is the term.
It
happens.
Which could be, I don't know, if they actually really truly know that you've been ghosting people. But then again, how often do you think, to me, when you're setting up a date with somebody like that, like at that point, I don't think ghosting can be so frequent, can it?
Not when you're, to actually show up.
Yeah, for a first
if you
date.
say you're going to be there, that's never happened to me where the person just hasn't shown up.
Uh-huh.
That would be crazy. Now, if a last-second cancellation, much more common.
But that's different than just straight-up ghosting.
Yeah, because then if you arrive at the restaurant or the bar, wherever you're going, the coffee shop, and they just don't show up to that, now that's messed up.
Yeah.
If you text me last second and say...
You should be reported.
Yeah, if you text me last second and say that you can't go, then that's still sucks. But at the same time, at least that's more considerate than just me showing up to the restaurant at Applebee's on a Friday night at 7 and just sitting down and nobody's showing up. I mean, talking about a waste of my time.
Yeah. They say here that for Bumble, they think that this is abusive conduct, and so they say it has a profound impact on a person's mental health if this were to happen, if they were to get stood up completely on a date that was set up on Bumble. And so that's why they think it's appropriate to put it into their behavior guidelines. And it's true that if you have been found guilty of this, according to Bumble, you could get banned from the platform entirely.
Yeah, it's messed up. I think that's fair. If somebody goes somewhere and you don't show up, that's messed up.
Yeah, if you set up something, for sure. But I also think, you've already been banned from a dating platform falsely.
True.
And so I think it seems to me this is opening the door for a lot of people to get falsely banned.
That's true.
But then again, it's just one of the many dating apps. So if you get falsely banned from there, I don't know if I can. And you, I don't know. I don't know if I can cry so many tears for you. But then again, this could be like if you want to get revenge on somebody, you just go around reporting him for not showing up to Bumble dates.
They ghosted me on the dates.
Yeah.
It'd be the best way to get back at him. Get him banned from Bumble. Oh, no.
That'll show him.
You won't hear a show like this anywhere else. And that's probably for the best. The Worst of the Riot. Radio U.
Of all the pizza toppings, what do you think is the most controversial?
It would be pineapple.
It's got to be pineapple, right? But DiGiorno is not satisfied with only stirring up controversy by putting pineapple on a pizza. They've devised a new pizza that includes pineapple and pickle.
Not my favorite combination.
No, it's not for everybody.
I don't know if it's for anybody.
It's for somebody.
Pineapple and pickle pizza? Come on.
It's for somebody.
Somebody, speak up.
Not only is the pineapple pickle pizza available for you to pick up from DiGiorno, but they also have a whole bunch of pineapple pickle pizza merch as well that you could get. So they really believe this is something that people would be drawn to. But I guess that said, they don't have so much faith in the pineapple pickle pizza because they're not selling it.
I was going to say, I don't see it on their website.
You cannot go to the store and buy a DiGiorno pineapple pickle pizza. In fact, you can't even go on DiGiorno's website and buy a pineapple pickle pizza. But what you can do is watch their merch store website, where every week, starting as of yesterday, they do drops where you could get the pineapple pickle pizza for free if you log in at the right time.
They're probably giving it away for free because it's so bad.
But it's so internet, though.
Pineapple pickle?
Yeah,
that's true.
You know, there's people out there they'll be proud to be on TikTok with their pineapple pickle pizza, and maybe they'll have some pineapple pickle pizza merch that they'll be sporting as well. I'm looking at the things you can, like, they have a pair of shorts, a button-up, like, Hawaiian-style shirt, and then, listen to this. Listen to how internet this is. A pineapple pickle pizza pickleball set as well.
Oh, a pickleball set?
A pickleball set.
Pickleball paddles.
Yeah.
For your pickle pizza.
Yeah, how much would you pay for that?
I wouldn't pay $1 for that.
Well, it's 68 of them.
$68 for the...
$68.
For them paddles or for the whole thing?
For the pickleball set.
Not for me.
It's so internet, though. What would you do if you saw somebody sporting one of these shirts, one of these pineapple pickle pizza shirts?
I don't like to judge.
Uh-huh.
But I would judge.
You would judge, huh? They're not even
really, because it's not like it's cheap either. That's the thing that gets me. Is like
$50.
If you want to spend your money on stupid things, that's fine. I don't really care if you want to do that. But if you want to just waste money, if you want to just throw it away, you get that same shirt at Goodwill for like $6 probably.
Yeah.
Because nobody else wants that shirt. But right now, because it's trending or whatever, it's gonna be like a $70 Hawaiian tee with pickles and pineapples on it that some old dad is wearing right now on vacation that he's had for 30 years and he would sell for $3.
It's not even an ugly, it's not ugly, but it's also not that like cool looking. But just the idea that, if one of my friends rolled up and he was wearing a DiGiorno pineapple pickle pizza shirt, I just have to look at you a little differently. I hate to say it.
You're like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Really, at any time of the day.
Where do you get the money?
Where did you find the time to even Google that?
Yeah.
And to find it and decide that it's a good idea for you to put your credit card in.
Why did you click checkout? I almost feel a little guilty just for bringing this up.
The only thing Isaiah loves more than the riot is himself.
Someone who probably still lives with his mother and hates himself.
You're listening to The Riot on RadioU.
What do you think is your most awkward age?
Probably middle school, right?
Middle school. That's what I was thinking too.
That's when I looked the worst.
Yeah.
Before I really had the chance to grow into my features.
Oh, yeah. I'm thinking like, for me, probably like 14.
14
to what?
To no
current,
end.
Yeah, till now. It's surprising to me here that I've got a whole survey, a whole list of people talking about when they were the most awkward and stuff that they were self-conscious about as like going through school, and then now as adults what they're still self-conscious about. Apparently, the most awkward age on average is actually 17.
Really? So high school?
Yeah, getting towards the end of high school.
I feel like once I got to 17, I'm looking pretty similar to how I did in college.
You figured it out by then.
Yeah, it's a little late to the game. But if you're 17, you're feeling awkward right now.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah, I guess I get it. I just feel like when I was 14, 15 is probably when I like dressed the worst and also had the worst personality and just didn't know how to talk, especially to, like girls. And so
I looked terrible.
Yeah, just a whole series of bad
Everybody
decisions.
had like braces too.
Just trying to figure stuff out at that age. By 17, I surely hadn't figured it out, but I wasn't as bad.
I was doing better.
Yeah, I was doing better. What do you think? What were you most, when you were like in high school, what were you most self-conscious about?
Good question. I would have to say, there's a handful of things. Probably back then, like my teeth.
Really?
That was before my teeth were perfect. That was also the time period. I don't know about my hair. My hair was all weird. I had curly hair.
Yeah.
So I had odd hair, probably. I don't know. Everybody had pimples too.
Yeah. See, according to this, people were most self-conscious about their body shape.
Interesting.
Even in high school is what people were most worried about. And that's
I guess I was skinny. Maybe that could be one.
Yeah. See, that for me, I never thought of that. Yeah, I guess I would have liked to be bigger,
A little more jacked.
Yeah, I would have liked to be. I did try to work out a little bit more when I was in high school, trying to build some muscle because I was scrawny.
You were trying to impress the ladies back then.
But was I like self-conscious about that? No.
Yeah, you just blended in.
Yeah. Number 2 was hairstyle, which also was not something that really registered with me at all. I just had a buzz cut and just...
Oh, you didn't know.
Yeah. I could have shined. Think about how I could have shined if I had.
Yeah, you could have.
Yeah, think about what I could have done.
You had no idea.
And then third is smile, is what people were most self-conscious about in high school, which I guess I was a little more self-conscious about that. But for me, it was definitely face. Because I had...
Oh, just that face in general.
Yeah, because I had bad acne. I mean, it was bad. And I felt like that was what was holding me back. I was real self-conscious, but I was like,
if I could just get rid of this. Oh, the women.
Things would be different.
They'll love me.
Yeah. Yeah, everything.
If I could get rid of these zits.
My fortunes would change. But that didn't make...
Oh, the mountains I'll climb if I can get rid of these pimples.
But now, see, this is a survey of adults. And so... What would you think people as adults are most self-conscious about?
It's for sure got to be like weight, probably.
Yeah.
It has to be body as number one.
It's still, surprisingly enough, the numbers are slightly down versus what they were when you were in high school, but it's still the same top 3: body shape, hairstyle, and smile.
But people are now moving into the whole bald thing.
Yeah, I guess so. They're worried about losing their hairstyle completely. I think it's and the numbers are down, but they're not drastically down, like a 10% drop for everything. Still, more than 50% of people feel self-conscious about all of those things, even as adults. So,
which is wild, because nobody's, yet again, this is one of those times when people are paying attention to you so much less than you think. Like things that you think are a big deal, like if your hair's messed up one day, other people don't even notice. Like I ask my roommate all the time, like before we're getting ready to like go out or do something, I'm like, how does my hair look? Because I think it looks bad at the time. He's like, it looks exactly the same as it does every single time we leave the house. So people don't even notice.
It's so true. Just your hair, as long as it, just don't get a really bad haircut.
Yeah, exactly. As long as you don't completely chop that thing in a weird way, you'll be totally fine. The same thing like when people say like, "Oh, I'm feeling really fat today."
Yeah.
People don't even notice.
That's the upshot of this. That's the good news. The bad news is if you're self-conscious in high school now, there's like a 90% chance you're not going to grow out of it, apparently.
Find more Riot content online. riot.radiou.com.
Football season almost upon us. Tomorrow night, the first game, right?
It is tomorrow night. Chiefs versus Lions.
Yeah, and I have here a ranking of the best NFL fan bases. This is according to Canadian sports betting researchers. They went ahead and did a study to try to figure out which teams had the most loyal fan bases across the NFL. And you're going to hate this.
This is a wild list. This is a terrible list.
You're going to hate this. The least loyal fans, according to research from, again, Canada Sports Betting, is the Cleveland Browns.
That's impossible. That makes no sense at all. How in the world are the Browns not one of the most loyal fan bases?
You think so?
I would say so.
Because they keep coming back even though there's often nothing to cheer for?
Precisely.
Yeah,
the years
seems like that would make you pretty loyal.
Of pain and suffering. I mean, nobody's a bandwagon Browns fan.
Yeah, that's
In
right.
what world are you picking the Browns as your bandwagon team? Number one, we've always, my entire life, underperformed. Number two, we have terrible PR right now.
Yeah.
Our quarterback has terrible PR. And so if you're a fan of the Browns, it's because you've been a fan your entire life. This is a terrible list.
It's a shocking list.
And number one is absolutely ridiculous. It should literally be flipped top to bottom. It's insane. Number two makes sense. Number three, I'm cool with. Even number four, whoever is at number one right now, this is abysmal. This is so out of touch.
I don't know. I think you could say a lot of things the same about the number one team on the list as the Browns.
They're not a true fan base. They can't even sell out their stadium. It's insane.
But the fans it's the Cincinnati Bengals is apparently the most loyal fan base.
Which literally year in, year out cannot sell out their stadium. It's insane.
They're not the biggest fan base. They're just very, very loyal.
Yeah, all 17 of them. Actually, no, in the past 3 years since Joe Burrow has came, they have quadrupled in numbers. So I guess the brand new fans to the Bengals must be really loyal.
Number two on the list was the Eagles. They have loyal fans.
Eagles, yeah, that's fair.
Three is the 49ers.
Fair.
Another team that's
historic.
Number four, the Bills, obviously.
Pretty historic.
Yeah, one of the best fan bases probably in sports. And then...
How you like this one?
This one makes no sense. The Jaguars, number five.
They want to move the Jaguars to Europe.
Yeah.
They want to move them to England.
Well, you'd have to be real loyal to keep cheering for that team.
I guess so.
Yeah. Near the bottom of the list, you have the Browns, and then the Saints, Buccaneers, Patriots, and Panthers rounded out the bottom five, the least loyal.
Your Packers are at 22, which is pretty controversial.
Yeah, you'd think. I mean, Packers fans, it's tough to judge, right? When you're a team that has so much success, how can you tell if the fan base is loyal or not?
But I feel like if you're a fan of the Packers, like if you live in Wisconsin, like what else are you doing? I feel like it's pretty loyal out there.
You have to be a fan of the Packers.
You would think so.
So
I mean, think about this though. How in the world are the LA Rams ranked number 13? Doesn't even make any sense.
Yeah, no, you're right.
They've moved like 3 times.
Yeah, same with the Chargers. I don't know if I buy this list. I'm with you. I think the Browns, you have the Browns at the bottom, the Bengals at the top. I don't buy it.
I don't buy it either.
We're not sure who behaves worse, the Riot or their dogs.
I don't even know how to behave like a real human being.
The Riot, RadioU.
Isaiah, you saving for retirement?
I am.
Good for you.
You have to.
Yeah, it's important.
And the earlier you start saving, the better off you'll be in the end.
That's right. The more money you'll have.
The compound interest, baby.
That's the wise thing to do. But I have some new research here that says that people are just finding it more and more difficult to be able to save for retirement, to put things away from retirement. I've got what it says, only 53% of Americans are currently saving for retirement at the moment. So that's not, or 57%. don't want to mince up the numbers there. 57% are saving for retirement. That means a lot of people aren't. But part of the problem is that typically, like when you're talking about saving, one of the things you hear a lot is the 5-year plan, right? You got to have a 5-year plan of where you want to be financially. But Americans have turned away from that because they don't think they can, if they don't think it's reasonable, realistic anymore. And so now people are more leaning towards, and this is across all generations from Gen Z to baby boomers, talking about a 12-year plan.
That's a big plan.
Yeah, that's
a long plan.
That's long term.
That is. That's some big thinking there.
Yeah. Where will I be 12 years from now? Who knows?
12 years. I'm trying to figure out how old I'll even be. Okay, got it. 12 years.
Things will be different. I don't know how you can plan 12 years in the future.
12 years is a long time. I'd be like 37 in 12 years.
Yeah.
I don't even know what that could possibly have to hold for me.
Yeah, you can't plan 12 years ahead. You could be going through a midlife crisis.
I may not even be alive in 12 years.
Yeah. Who knows? The way you live. But the reason that people are saying that they can't, that the 5-year plan is not realistic, that you can't like actually put enough away to make 5 years of savings realistic, is obviously household expenses are higher, inflation is higher, and this makes sense too, paying off school loans, paying off your debts.
Those are starting back up, everybody.
Yeah.
Just so you know.
Yeah, get ready. Get ready for that. So
October 1.
It's not going to make it any easier for people to be able to put stuff away for the future. And I get it. I get it. Like, I can't, thinking about retirement, trying to put away money for retirement is difficult. I can barely put away money for next week. You know?
But you got to do it.
You got to do it.
You got to commit to it.
Yeah.
Even if it's just like a little bit at a time.
Yeah.
If you put like $300 towards it, $200, $150, whatever you can put towards it. If you do a little bit at a time, it does add up.
A little goes a long way.
But if you have zeros in there, zeros do not compound.
Yeah.
Zeros do not get any bigger on their own.
What's a good interest rate, would you say?
The average is 8%.
Yeah. 8% of zero, you know what it is?
Zero, baby.
0.0.
So, yeah, you just got to toss something in there. And it'll just slowly build on itself. The earlier you do it, the better. But you got to do it.
And your older you will thank you.
Yeah, they will.
Yeah. So get to saving.
The only thing Isaiah loves more than the riot is himself.
Someone who probably still lives with his mother and hates himself.
You're listening to The Riot on RadioU.
Do you believe this, Isaiah, when you're dating, opposites attract?
People say that.
That's an old adage, isn't it? It's definitely something that you hear, but according to new research from the UK, it's not true at all. It couldn't be further from the truth. Researchers from the UK analyzed nearly 80,000 people that are in relationships on 133 traits and found that on average, each couple was similar in about 80% of the traits. They shared the same traits. And so we're talking things like smoker status, how much you drink, when you lost your virginity, like all just, they did it. I mean, it's 133 traits. It's a lot of traits. And odds are, if you're dating somebody, if you're married to somebody, you share 80% of those same traits.
See, I think a lot of people say, like, people are going to text in right now, and they're going to say that their husband and them are opposites attract, right? We're an example of it. But I think that even the people that think that their husband and them are opposites are way more alike than they realize. They have so much more in common, because if you guys were truly opposites, which this is what this study is talking about, true opposites.
Yeah.
If you're truly opposites, it really makes it tough, because your similarities and things that you like to do, experiences you've had, make it so much more difficult to actually have a relationship. So even if you think that, like, oh, me and my boyfriend are so different, or me and my girlfriend are exactly opposite, you guys still share so many things in common that you don't think about. One of you is probably quiet, and one of you is probably loud.
Yeah.
And that's probably the opposite attract thing that most people think about.
They actually found that there were some certain traits that didn't seem to have any bearing. One of them was extroverts and introverts.
Yeah.
That there's no correlation. Like if you were an extrovert, you're just as likely to wind up with somebody introverted as extroverted. But on the whole, by and large, you're going to share the vast majority of characteristics with whoever it is that you're dating. I think there's two ways to look at this, though. I do think that people tend to wind up with people that are more like them than they realize, and maybe you just kind of, the areas where you're different would be areas where you would focus, where the areas that would stand out because so many other areas are similar. But I also think when you're in a relationship, especially like as you get married, you go through life, you're more likely to converge on, like, for example, probably drinking behavior. Even if you might have been a little different when you got together at first, you're probably more likely, as you live together for so long, you're probably more likely to have your habits, have a lot of your characteristics, kind of align, because you're living a very similar life to the other person. You're living with them. So I feel like there's a lot to learn from this. And I guess maybe if you're circling through the dating apps, you might as well just be looking for people that are exactly like you, because that's odds are who you're going to wind up with. It looks like.
Yeah, at least similar. Like even like the characteristic traits that like are different. A lot of times those are like preferred that way. Like I'm like a louder person. I prefer girls that I hang out with to be more like introverted. And there's certain
so they don't
things,
take the attention away from you.
Precisely, exactly. That's why I like hanging out with you anyway. But and so even when it is times when you do have things that are not in common, it's often because you like pick out those specific ones, but people are usually much more alike than they realize.
Disinformation, mispronunciations, bad impressions. That's Hudson. This is The Riot on Radio U.
Question is for Would You Rather Wednesday. Would you rather give up all movies made after the year 2000 or give up all music made after the year 2000? Getting a lot of good responses here. I do see from Sasha. Sasha says there are songs and artists that capture a lot of the vibe, the same vibe as older music, but movies don't do that. The OG Star Wars, Jaws, stuff like that cannot be recreated or replicated by today's industry. So Sasha giving up modern movies and keeping all of the music. Then we also have, let's see, who else do we have? Jocelyn, I'll totally take all the music pre-2000 in a heartbeat, giving up modern music, I guess, and keeping all the movies.
Yeah.
Sounds right. Regina, I'd give up movies. So much amazing music has been made since 2000. And she said she discovered RadioU TV, and more specifically, metal music after the year 2000, of course. So there's that.
Music's important.
Yeah, music is important. Do you have your answer?
I go back and forth. I came to the conclusion that I would rather have music up until now.
You want modern music and you're giving up all the new movies.
Yep.
That's a little surprising. You do watch a decent amount of movies.
I watch a good amount of movies, yeah.
I think so. Wait, what is your reasoning?
My reasoning is because I don't need movies. You want to know why I don't need movies?
Yeah.
Because I can watch my Cleveland Brownies.
Yeah.
I can watch my Ohio State Buckeyes for the next, what month are we in now? September?
Uh-huh.
From now until February, I won't even need any streaming service. I can watch everything on live TV.
Yeah.
I don't need any movies.
And there's also TV you could watch.
Yeah.
Modern TV, old TV.
So
Whatever.
I don't need the movies. But the music, on the other hand, I was born in 1998.
Mm-hmm.
So all of the music that I really know is mainly 2000 and after. So I'm gonna stick with that.
Here's why. Well, let's go through a few more. Jay says, I'd rather give up music since 2000, but that's only to keep Spider-Man 1 and 2 available. Spider-Man 1 and 2 saving all movies after the year 2000 for Jay, apparently. Let's see. Jeff, I'd give up the music. I'm a big movie guy. Plus, a lot of the music is not that great. Jeff says the 80s were the best era for music. Can't say can't necessarily say that I agree. For me, my answer, I think, is giving up the music. And it is true that a lot of great music has been made since the year 2000, but I also enjoy a lot of music that's been made before the year 2000. And so I think I could still live like that. I wouldn't want, for movies, I know there's a lot of great movies that were made before the year 2000. I enjoy a lot of them. But I think the quality of movies has changed so much that trying to watch a lot of old movies, it would just get, they get long, they get drawn out when they're the older style. Now, although I'd be losing a lot of classics, I wouldn't want to give up a lot of the movies that I really do love and that continue to be made nowadays for a more modern audience and a more modern man such as I. But it would be tough to give up all that music, though.
Yeah, I'm keeping the music for me. And but you make a good argument.
Yeah,
you really like the movies. I get that.
Yeah. But I see the other side. If I gave up the new movies, maybe I'd discover a bunch, because there are older movies I like. Maybe it'd force me to discover a bunch of old movies that I really like.
Or it could be a way for you to do something other than watch TV.
Yeah, that's right.
You could go experience the world. Why do we have to be all about movies?
I like movies.
You could be out and about.
It is true. You could listen to music while
starting a garden.
I could listen to music while I start a garden. Jaden says, no way I'm giving up modern movies. 2000s music is, pre-2000s music is fine for Jaden.
He's a big movies guy.
Yeah. And then Alex, definitely want to keep the music. I love early 2000s music. Interesting. Not even like current, but early 2000s.
If we would have made it 2010s,
yeah,
Alex would have been in.
Yeah, right.
But early 2000s, you got to keep that.
This is a well-crafted Would You Rather Wednesday, because if I do say so myself, because people are just divided. There's no agreement here.
You won't hear a show like this anywhere else, and that's probably for the best. The Worst of the Riot, Radio U.
We're doing Would You Rather Wednesday. The question today is, would you rather give up all music made after the year 2000 or all movies made after the year 2000? It's been a tough call. The audience seems to be largely divided down the middle. And it's tough, I think, because you have to admit, even if you are the type of person that enjoys older things, that like the quality, especially of movies for me, but the quality of movies and music, it just keeps going up, right?
You would think so.
Like, I know there's a few, I just feel like the majority of people, even though they're like, maybe I like the 80s music the best, but you're not saying, well, the 2020s music, it's horrible. Most people don't think that. I mean, you know what I mean?
I agree.
I think music over the years, movies over the years, just we keep evolving. We keep getting better. Things keep getting better. The world keeps getting better.
The actors. They're getting better.
Actors.
If they just like to work every now and then.
Yeah, that's right. That they're getting so good. And I think that, you know, as we just keep going through time, like if you look back in time, we've come so far, even in just 20 years. Forget about 100. You watch like whatever the Yellowstone spinoffs are, where it's like the 1800s and they're cooking like actual fish in a pan type thing. Like, who wants to live that way? Our food is better now. In some ways worse, but in a lot of ways better. And there's just so many things better now about the world, which brings me to, we've come so far, you'd think people would be happier these days, wouldn't you say?
You would hope.
Than they were, like, you know, when there was world wars going on, when, you know, anything you ate could give you a disease.
There were no air fryers.
There was no air fryers, right. You'd think we'd be happier now. And yet you look at like depression rates and suicide and all this stuff, and that's all going up. So why is it that even as the world seems to be getting better, we're not getting happier? And I think it's the endless struggle that we keep looking for things in life that will make us happy, and they can bring some joy, but at the end of the day, they're not really going to fill the need that you really have. They're not going to actually bring you that happiness that makes you feel, like the key word, fulfilled. They might make you happy, but are they going to make you fulfilled? Are they going to make you feel like your life is worth living? Not on their own. Not on their own, they're not. And we keep finding that out over and over and over again. And the truth is, you want to be happier, you want to be more fulfilled. It's always been the same place to look, and that's a relationship with Jesus. Jesus cares about you. He loves you, and he'll give you something that the rest of the world can't, even as we continue to improve. Things keep getting technically better. The quality of things keeps going up, but it's not enough. Jesus is enough. Jesus wants to help you through life, to give you that fulfillment that you need. And he's right there waiting for you. Just say, hey, God, I'm ready for that. I want to find out more. Show me what that's like, and he'll do it. You want to know more? RadioU.com/free gift.
You've made it all the way to the end of the Worst of the Riot. This show only exists because of support from listeners like you. Find out more and help out at RadioU.com/donate.